Now we've seen if statements before in the JavaScript section of the course, so I won't labour them too much here, but there are some slight differences in PHP which we'll look at right now. So in PHP, to run an if statement, as I say, it's pretty similar to JavaScript. We start off with if, and we put the statement that we want to check whether or not it's true in brackets, and then we put our code that we want to happen if it is true in curly brackets, as we're used to. So, for example, we might have a user variable, which for this particular user might be equal to Rob, and then we might have a check to see if the user variable is equal to, and remember to check whether something is equal to something else, just as in JavaScript, we use double equals rather than one equals, which will set it equal to the other thing, which is not what we want. So if user is equal to Rob, we can say, hello, Rob. And then just like with JavaScript, we can have an else statement as well, which does something in the case that this is not true. And we might have something like, I don't know you, if this app only deals with me. So let's have a look. So there we've got hello Rob. And then if we change it so the user was Andy, I don't know you. So pretty straightforward really. As a little challenge for you, can you create an if-else statement based around this age variable, which checks whether someone is 18 or older, and if it does, says something like you may proceed, and if it doesn't, tell them that they're too young. Go for it. All right, let's see how I hope you did it. So we're checking to see if the user is older or equal to 18. So I would use something like that. We could also have older than 17, but I think older or equal to 18 makes it clearer what's going on here. And then if that's the case, we'll display you may proceed. If it's not, we'll say you are too young. Sorry. And we'll just put in a couple of line breaks as well. Separate things out. Oop, and I've made a mistake. But my error message makes it very clear what's going on. I've just forgotten my semicolon there. Not to worry. So excellent, with an age of 25, you may proceed. With an age of 16, you are too young. Like with JavaScript, we can compare two things at once, and we use the same symbols for that. So if we want to check for the user being Rob and the age being greater than 18, we use double ampersand and then user equals Rob. So obviously at the moment that won't work because neither of those are true. If I make one of them true, then that's still no good. For both of them to be true, that gets us in. We can also have an OR operator, which again, just with JavaScript and a number of other programming languages, is a double pipe, which for me is a shift and backslash character. So again, it still works there, but this time Andy's allowed in as long as he is old enough. But if neither of those are true, then we can't get in. And that's about it. If statements are hugely powerful, and we'll be using them throughout our programming as we're making more advanced web apps. But the basics of how they work are pretty simple. Great. So now it's time to move on and look at the other major programming construct that can affect the flow of our code, and that is the loop.